Now, good day viewers, you are welcome to Soluble Tutors. Now, as regards your qualitative analysis, SWOT analysis, there are two major reagents that you can use to confirm preliminary test and the confirmatory test. I've made a video on the use of sodium hydroxide, aqueous sodium hydroxide, in order to get your what are the expected precipitate, what are you observing, and what are you inferring. For the sake of people that are even having GCE, which is the alternative practical, you don't have to do any practical physically. You have to know everything in your brain. And that's why I'm here today, to explain to you sure success. Now, if you have not watched that my video of sodium hydroxide, you can check the link anywhere up here. You will see the link popping up. Just press on it, so that after this video, it will show you that video and you will watch it, so that you have complete knowledge about SWOT analysis. So now people are asking that I should do videos using the ammonia, aqueous ammonia. So I'm here now today to give you the breakdown of it. So let's go there, please. Thank you. Now, for aqueous ammonia, this is what we are expecting. When you have NH3 aqueous, you are putting it in any solution, okay, in drops. When it's in drops, what are you expecting? If it's to give you white chalky precipitate or white precipitate, better off. If you observe white precipitate, okay, white precipitate, it can be chalky or not chalky, but once it is white, what? Precipitate. What are you inferring? If it happens to be sodium hydroxide, there are two things that you have to check. You have to observe, and you have to say that's what you are inferring. Two things. What are they? They are calcium 2 plus or Pb2 plus. That's for sodium hydroxide. But for this aqueous ammonia, once you observe white chalky precipitate, it will show no visible reaction for this. No visible reaction for this calcium. So it is only lead. It's only lead, Pb2 plus. That's one thing. Let's go to another thing, please. Now, if you now observe white gelatinous precipitate, very similar to what you observe in sodium hydroxide also. If it is sodium hydroxide, you are also going to observe white gelatinous precipitate. When you observe white gelatinous precipitate, you have to infer two things, two ions. The ions are these: your zinc 2 plus, okay, or Al3 plus. The same thing is the case in the case of ammonia. That's the same thing. You are also going to what? When you see white gelatinous precipitate, white gelatinous precipitate, you have to infer zinc or aluminium. All right. Every other thing is now the same with sodium hydroxide. That is, when you observe blue, okay, blue, every other thing is gelatinous now. Blue gelatinous, that is jelly-like, gelatinous precipitate, okay. You have to infer copper, Cu2 plus, copper 2 ion. Is the one that always gives us blue gelatinous precipitate. There is something unique about ammonia that you cannot find in sodium hydroxide. I will get to that. Just be patient. Let's go on, please. Now, if you now observe dirty green, or we call it green, dirty what? Dirty green, gelatinous, okay, gelatinous precipitate, okay. Let me use PPT in this case. Precipitate. What are you trying to infer at that end? That is iron 2. Because when iron 2 is coming freshly from the blast furnace, it's always green. The dirtiness there is the strands of brownish color. Because iron 2, when it stays for some time, for some minutes, not even hours, minutes, it now converts himself and oxidizes to iron 3. It always oxidizes. That's why if you need iron 2 in the laboratory, you will prepare it freshly. You see that freshly prepared. Let's say, for example, you want to do brown ring test. You will say freshly what? Prepared. That's for test for what? Anion. I will make video on that. I'll make a video on it, but I'll make more videos on that. That's why it's good for you to subscribe to this channel now. Subscribe, because today alone, I will release like 3-4 videos that will cover your chemistry, so that it will help you really in having a good edge and having an excellent result. Okay, subscribe, like this video, so that they can YouTube algorithm can post it to a lot of people. You are helping people. It's free of charge. It doesn't cost you any money. Just like, subscribe, and you can share to people. Let them also enjoy the benefit of this. Okay, so that will even encourage me to do more and help students more. Now, what are we trying to say now? If you are now having reddish brown, as I've said, if you look at iron, when iron rusts, it gives us brown color. Yes or no? Yes. Now it means iron is oxidizing. Okay, so it will now give us when you have reddish brown, okay, reddish brown, gelatinous what? Precipitate, gelatinous PPT. Now, because it is reddish brown, what are we inferring? We are inferring iron 3 plus. Okay. The other ion that is very, very important that we need to know how to get, and in terms of cation, is ammonium ion. That one is a special case, because for you to get ammonium, you have to get it through ammonia gas. Okay, how do you get ammonia gas? You get ammonia gas by heating directly your solution, or adding acid to your residue, or conc sodium hydroxide. When it starts giving gas, okay, you perceive the odor of the gas. The gas must give us choking smell. That's ammonia. And ammonia is the only basic gas as far as the O level is concerned. So it will turn moist. Please put moist if you are testing for gas. If you didn't moist your litmus paper, it will not check for gas. So turn moist blue, red litmus paper blue. It means that is showing you that the thing is basic. Are you getting it now? So that's that about this. Please master it. There's a little difference. Now, there's something I said I will tell you, which is very important. So let's go there now. That is very important. Now, when I'm talking about sodium hydroxide, there are 3 ions that are soluble in excess sodium hydroxide. This is just for drops. When you introduce this one to solution in drops. So sodium hydroxide excess, there will be zinc ion, aluminum ion, and lead ion. And I told you the reason why in that video. I told you the reason why. I said because they are amphoteric, they form amphoteric oxide. So the reason why they can dissolve is because they now behave like an acid, so that they react with sodium hydroxide. But in this case, there are just 2 ions, and one of them is I call it alasheju, because it dissolves in anything, and that's zinc. The first one is what? Zinc. Now in excess, let me use this place, please. So in excess, what are the things that will dissolve? Number one thing is what? The zinc. Zinc 2 plus will dissolve. Remember that it's also dissolved in sodium hydroxide. That's why I say you should look at that video. Okay. Now, what is the next thing now that dissolves? Copper. And this one is special because copper will dissolve in aqueous ammonia to give us deep blue solution. Please mind that. If there are some things you have missed in this video, you can take it back, or you can pause as you like, or take it back, please. It gives us what? Deep blue what? Solution. Deep blue solution. So it dissolves to give us deep blue solution. This one also, why gelatinous reactive dissolve. Those are the 2 things that will dissolve. Any other thing will not dissolve in excess aqueous ammonia. So that's how we always do our analysis. Okay. The next video I will be releasing, and that's why I say you should subscribe to this channel, will be on what? Anions. How can you do tests for anion? It's very, very important, and I will release it shortly. So subscribe to this channel, like this video, and please press the notification button so that when I release the video, you'll be notified and you get the gist of it. Though I have a WhatsApp group where I teach students freely, I give you a lot of hints and things like that. So I will leave the link in the description below to the WhatsApp group. You can join the WhatsApp group so that you have a first-hand information, and every other thing will be easy. Thank you. God bless you. See you in another video.